What is up, everybody? How's it going? If you are in my time zone, it is about 5 in the morning, so we are just absolutely fine and dandy and ready to cast some StarCraft action. We're going to have a formal introduction, say in about 4 or 5 minutes or so, to get you guys kind of all hyped up and rallied up and ready, but get ready. Going to be some fun games with Boom Boom, Hurricane, Supernova. Should be freaking awesome, but until then, a little bit more K-pop. Don't go anywhere. We're going to start really, really soon. Like within 5 minutes. Actually, even less, like 3 minutes.
소원을 말해봐. 네 마음속에 있는 작은 꿈을 말해봐. 네 머리에 있는 이상형을 그려봐. 그리고 나를 봐. 난 너의 진이야. 꿈이야. 진이야. 다른 칼을 타고 달려봐. 넌 내 옆자리에 앉아. 그동안 네 필링 속에 모두를 던져. 가슴 벅차 터져버려도 다른 편에 날려버려도 지금 이 순간 그래요 널 사랑해 언제나 믿어 꿈도 열정도 다 주고 싶어 난 그대 소원을 이뤄주고 싶어 일문의 여신 소원을 말해봐 I'm dreaming for the boy 소원을 말해봐 I'm dreaming for the wish 소원을 말해봐 I'm dreaming for your dream 내게만 말해봐
Alright guys, what is up? We'll actually put a little bit of K-pop in the background. Welcome to the continuation of Esports Week, or what it seems to be between the WCS, TI3, and everything else that's going on. We are here with our Final Four for the Hong Kong Esports Korean Qualifier. I'm Cheesehead Logic, bringing you the action live. English, more importantly than anything else. Be sure to tell all your friends to get over here, give them the stream link, twitch.tv/HK-Esports. Basically abbreviated for Hong Kong Esports. We got 4 sick baller nerds battling it out. Hyun, Boom Boom, Supernova, Hurricane, all had to go through a really tough day a couple days ago, qualifying, and this should be really, really awesome. So hang tight. We should be getting started. I see us in lobby, and we should be going here in a couple seconds. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So excited. I think it's time to pop the monster, man. It's time to pop the Monster Energy drink. Last couple hours just been watching a lot of some of their past games, trying to get some of their stats down. Ah. So yeah, looks like we're just about ready. Bum 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 bum. This is gonna be sick. This is gonna be sick. Sorry, just kind of looking at chat right now. We're waiting for one caster. He's pending at the moment. He's online, but I think AFK at the moment, just like off the computer. So we should be good to go in a couple seconds. Hopefully we also get the link added to TL. Boom 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 boom. You be crazy. Oh, I love that song so much. But we do have to go into game number 1 right now. Sorry, we just had a little bit of a technical difficulty, at least with one of our other broadcasters. Let me make sure I actually send us over to our main screen. There we go. We are good and good to go. Nothing better than being good and good to go. Except being great and great to go. No, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't rhyme. It doesn't rhyme well enough. Alright. So, as you guys can see, there's Hyun, there's Boom Boom, loading up ZVZ game number 1 under freaking way. And I want to actually test this out really quick. So starting over here at the top left side of Star Station in the red, his own red team's colors. Deserved player, he is Hyun. Now we're going to test out the... Oh, it does work. How awesome is that? Do I feel just absolutely special as an observer? I definitely do. I love this view. This is so freaking awesome. I actually never had a chance to work with it just yet since the recent patch. So it should be fun. You gotta make sure to actually close down the OBS window in my other monitor so it doesn't lag anything up. So here we go. His opponent down here at the bottom right side of the map, representing Team Prime. We have to... Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. Is it now Prime? We have... Boom Boom. Hold on, let's get out of this zoom level. He's got the Prime tag on him. Is he on Prime right now? I'm so confused because I have it actually down where he is teamless at the moment. Unless he got picked up by Prime as of recent. We'll have to actually double check that. Wow. I'm almost like really confused at the moment. I feel like I have my facts straight. So, anyways. right now, ZVZ going live. Again, if you guys are just tuning in, this is the Hong Kong Esports Korean Qualifier. Final day for the Korean Qualifier. We have our final 4 players today. Again, Hyun, Boong Boong, Hurricane, and Supernova. We're starting off today with a ZVZ, so later we will have a TVP ready for you guys. So if you guys are TVP fans or ZVZ fans, this is going to be the tournament for you guys. If you guys hate PvP, definitely come on over here. I know WCSEU is going, but you know, this is just that much better, man. We got some top Koreans here. Now, I want to talk about Boong Boong a little bit. Some of you guys, you know, might not be his biggest fans or might not know much about him, but kind of give you guys a little bit of a background on him. He is, what, a 25-year-old Korean player, former player on Prime. I don't think he's on Prime at the moment. I think he's teamless, if I'm not mistaken. Former player of Prime, MJ, and Azubu as of recent. Of course, everybody knows Azubu disbanded because of some financial quote-unquote issues. He's actually ranked in the WCS system, kind of on the bottom half of it, ranked at 143 right now. As of recent, from what we saw him, he was participating in the GSL Season 1 before they went to OSL. He had a really nasty group in the round of 32 where it was him, Flash, Solky, and Maru. You almost can't ask for a group worse than that. And of course, he went 0-2 and 0-2 overall in the group. Just, you know, you can't do much about that. And then right after that, Code A, basically, round of 48, 0-2 to Paralyze. And from there, he fell out. Now, at the moment, in regards to his WCS / GSL, OSL, however in the hell you want to call it, ranking, well, you know what? Not much known there. I'm going to assume he's most likely going to attempt to qualify for the next Korean qualifier, so definitely best wishes to him. But overall, like, a really good player. Like, looking at his past, 2011, he all killed F United, if anybody remembers there. Here, we're about, you know, guys, get your boarding passes. We're going to go on a nostalgia train right now. 2011, his first like big time appearance, all killed F United in the GSTL versus F United. If you guys remember F United, man, you guys are sort of some old StarCraft nerds. Maybe this isn't like impressive to the Brood War players, but this is pretty early still in StarCraft 2. With F United, if you guys remember, guys like Moon, Lin, Soccer, Naniwa, Thor, and Phoenix, man. And that's like when in the days where Naniwa was on Dignitas and Thorzan was on Mouse, man. That's like, right now that feels so old school, at least to me. And of course, he was kind of one of those participants that played in the ESV TV Korean weeklies. He's actually got a little bit of history with Hyun. Some of you guys might not know about this. Back in IPL 5, actually that's not too bad. That's actually almost a little over half a year. Was one of their meetings that at least I know of. I'm not sure if it's the only one. I'm going to assume they might have faced on ladder or something. But Hyun and Boong Boong faced each other in the winner's bracket in the very early rounds as we were watching a big speedling attack come across. Could this get in? No, I don't think it can. Beautiful wall off from Boong Boong. He's got double Evo Chambers. Might even have actually Evo Roachworn combo. There we go. That makes a little bit more sense. I'm like, one of those does look a little bit different. Putting it down a Spine Crawler for defenses as well. So Boong Boong is going to be completely safe. He just has to be careful not to let this completely huge pack of links to come across. And I think now Boong Boong has his own amount of bait. Oh my god, he's got his own amount of links, but I think misclicked or stopped paying attention for just a second. Beautiful detonates right there from 2 Banelings, taking out all of those links. But yeah, again, first meeting with him and Hyun at IPL 5 in the winner's bracket. Boong Boong lost 2-0 to him. So Hyun having at least the lead in the overall series, playing against each other. But from there, you know, IPL 5, we're looking at the losers bracket. Boong Boong was actually one of the bright spots, where he went 2-0 versus Golden, 2-1 versus Puck, 2-1 versus Seed, 2-0 versus Crank, 2-0 versus Chihua, and then finally almost breaking into group play, losing 1-2. I think it was to the STC, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my god, another detonate. What is going on with Boong Boong right now? This was kind of bad. And look at Hyun playing so smart. He's got even an Overseer up here with him to clear out some of the creep. Those queens are going to come out, try to defend against that Overseer, but he's going to lose a queen instead. Beautiful transfuse right there, keeping that queen alive for a little bit longer, but now he's going to lose 2 queens because of this. He has 4 queens out on the map, but now the wall is completely open as well, so if those lings wanted to get in and scout, they could do it, but looks like that's not going to be the case right now. Now, during this whole entire engagement, Hyun taking to third base, already going into Spire Tech, so he's going to go into Mutants, but he might find a little bit of trouble when he sees that Boom Boom is going into Roaches right now, and those Roaches are out already, so they could head right across the map and start going right for that third base, especially with speed and +1 finishing up here. That's going to be such a nice advantage for Boom Boom. During this time, Hyun still has to actually produce the mutas, actually get them out, actually have to kill the units. So really at this point, Boom Boom, if he's a little bit more of aware of the total situation going on, he could take advantage right now, maybe impose a threat to Hyun. But, you know, with these Lings right here, they're actually going to surround this third hatch. Oh my god, they're actually going to force a cancel right here. Does he have enough DPS to actually deny these Lings? I don't think he's going to do it. No, there we go, a cancel. This is so bad for Boom Boom. And there we go, he's either chasing the Lings or might just head across the map with this Roach count. But this is so bad for Boom Boom. This is that time where Hyun's going to start shining. He's going to go into macro mode. And when Hyun goes into macro mode, especially in the ZVZ, that's just scary. Well, here we go. Muta's flying on in here. Hyun, I don't think Boom Boom was even completely anywhere aware of this. Now, he does have those queens, which are doing a pretty good amount of damage, at least defending for the time being. But now, with this Ling combination, these Mutas are going to have a ball right now. So, these Mutas, they're just going to continue harassing over here. They're not going to be realistically able to compete with this entire Roach army, so it's more worth it for him to actually just continue harassing the mineral line. Meanwhile, on the backside, Boom Boom going full all in almost at this point, I want to call it. Hyun defending only with Lings, though. This is kind of a scary scenario for Hyun, though. Boom Boom taking that supply lead right now when the only defense right now is just Lings. This is so bad, and these are +1 Roaches as well with speed, so we're watching the first initial pack breakthrough into the natural. The Roach Warren is finished up. The first Roaches are underway for Hyun. I think, have any of them come out? I don't think they have. Going to zoom out here. Oh, go to level 2. Go to level 2, and as we see right there, third hatch getting harassed by the mineral line. The Mutas are coming back to help defend. Hyun realizes he doesn't have enough units, and he doesn't have enough time to produce units. Boom Boom continually breaking in over here and doing so much damage. Oh my god. But you know what? Hyun mitigating it a little bit. As we see, 6 to 8 workers only killed, so Hyun's still kind of in a good spot if he could clear these Roaches out. He's not dead. He's in a lot of trouble, but he's not dead yet. Now here we go. The Mutas are helping out, try to clean out the rest of this. I think a few more additional workers have been killed off, and by a few more, I think we went from 8 to 24. So yeah, Hyun in quite amount of trouble, you know. Looking at it, 65 supply to 81, down 35 to 47 drones. So, you know, there's still a chance that Hyun can come back from this. It's going to be a little bit of a tough task, in my opinion, at least, because now with the Spore Crawlers, especially the buff Spore Crawlers, these things are like bazookas, man. They just absolutely shred through Mutas. They make you regret ever flying anywhere near the vicinity. And as you see right there, 3-shotting a Muta, and he needs to control this. He has lost 2 Mutas completely for free, almost a third one. So this is going to be very reliant on how well and how attentive Hyun is at the moment, and that's probably why he was looking away, because over at the third hatch, again, Roach is harassing continually from Boom Boom, focusing down the gas. You know what? This is so smart. He knows that, you know what, I might not be able to get in a big engagement. I'm not just going to walk into, you know, some additional units or spine crawlers, but I'm just going to pick off whatever I can. A gas will do that. A few extra drones will do that, because again, with less gas, you can't produce units. You can't, you know, can't get upgrades. You can't tech up. So the less gas, the better for Boom Boom at this point. Really, I'm almost shocked that Boom Boom is having such a great game right now. Almost can't believe it. Almost. But you know what? He's not bad at ZVZ. He's not bad at ZVZ. Again, we look at the past. This might not be exactly reflected on why he's playing such a good ZVZ, but Nest T, for those that know Nest T, of course, creator of our universe, everybody bow down to him, but Boom Boom was the first player to ever beat Nest T in a televised match in a ZVZ. That's kind of probably one of the coolest, neatest facts I've ever heard. I'm like, if you're Boom Boom, you made God bleed that night. You made God bleed that night. That's something to be really, really proud of. So, just kind of fun facts for all you nerds, all you stat nerds, man. I'm a stat nerd, and I think that like stems from like me being a sports nerd as well. I'm big NFL, NBA, soccer, baseball on a rare occasion, but you know, just like sports in general. So I'm like a big stat nerd, always looking at statistics of whatever you could find between passing yards and goals and 3-point baskets and percentages. But yeah, so yeah, stats stuff like that really just is like really neat. I think that's pretty cool. Now, Boom Boom, he's got a pretty big supply lead. We're looking at it, 166. He is supply block with these mutas flying around and knocking out overlords across the map. I think there's really no more that he could probably hunt down. But, well, speaking of the devil, one more. But the problem for Hyun is these mutas are basically the only reason why he's still in the game, and that's just because they're a distraction factor. As you see, the Hydras that are chasing these mutas down, instead of being with a full army right now, this is stuff like that that's keeping him distracted. Now what Hyun needs, he needs about a miracle and a half. We look and see at the upgrades, 2-0 plus attack for Boom Boom. He doesn't have Carapace. Hyun, +1 Carapace is about to finish up. His Hydra's Den isn't around. +2 will finish up soon, but you know what? If Boom Boom engages into Hyun right now, he's actually going to be able to demolish him because of the +2 versus the 0-1. It's going to be so easy for him to work right through it. With the Hydras as well, the additional DPS behind the Roaches, it's going to be such an effective attack. So really looking at Boom Boom to actually spring into action right now. He can't continually get distracted by a couple mutas. This is probably the worst thing ever. These mutas are more than paying off for themselves just alone with the distraction. But here we go, finally. Boom Boom moving into position, trying to split his units, want to make sure he's got a good concave. Hyun looking a little bit good right here, actually. Getting a nice engagement, but again, the worry is the upgrades. There we go, 2-1 has kicked in for Hyun, but as you can see, all that DPS, that supply lead in favor of Boom Boom. I think that's it. Yeah, look at that. Oh my god, what an enormous amount of units just breaking through here. Hydra's Den focused down before even the upgrade does finish, and I think that's going to be GG. We see the drones pulled and just carnage, just absolute carnage everywhere. GG. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1 in the books. Boom Boom taking a game off Hyun, but it is a best of 3. So everybody hang tight. Nobody freak out just yet. Hyun fans, stay calm. Still got your shot. Alright guys, so we're going to be right back in a couple of seconds, a little bit of a K-pop break until we get game number 2 set up. Don't go anywhere. I'm Cheesehead Logic, representing Quantic Gaming, and this is the Hong Kong Esports Korean Qualifier, day number 2. Don't go anywhere. Alright, as we're getting game number 2 set up right now, I'm just pulling up a little bit of a stat sheet I grabbed from GOM TV. Shoutouts to GOM for awesome statistics keeping, but there we have it. Boom Boom in the GSL. This is actually right before he went through that group, so the record actually is not completely accurate. I think it's actually at 22 and 21, but as you can see at that time he was ranked 9th in this, cumulative ranking was 73. At that time he was 9th. 28, 22, and I think it's 21 now because he lost 2 series in a row in Code S and then lost another one in Code A. But overall, I mean, if you got a positive record in the GSL, that's pretty damn awesome. That's like ridiculous. Alright, so we are in lobby. We're just kind of waiting at the moment. So it looks like we're going to be going in a game. There we are. Alright, there we go, guys. And this is really unfortunate. Looking at the viewer count, kind of busts. Well, just in general saying, kind of bust my balls because we had a hell of a lot more the other day, but because it was the only event during the time, of course, making sure that it takes up every single time slot that it possibly could. Anyways, starting up here at the top right side, down 0-1 in the series. Gonna have to pull off some special tactics, some Zerg tactics, some unstoppable tactics. We have the Zerg player, Hyun. And we'll talk about him a little bit too here this game, if we don't see some really serious quick aggression out of him, and which Hyun is possible of. At this point, like, if we're going to talk about Hyun, I think I'm going to have to, like, pull up an autobiography. I'm going to have to pull out, like, an enormous spreadsheet just to even begin talking about the guy and all of his achievements. But before that, looking down here at the bottom left side of the map, representing, I think, himself just for now, we have the blue Zerg player, Boong Boong. Check that out. So, looking good. In game number 1, able to just overwhelm Hyun, and I think overall had the better build order. And I think that just all came down to Hyun being unable to be successful with his early lings out on the map. Now, we did talk about Boong Boong quite a while last game. Let's look at Hyun. And I'm not going to exactly go into like deep specifics of him, but just looking at the past year alone, I think this is actually all in the past year. Second place, GSL Code S Season 5. First place, MSI Pro Cup. What else? Oh my goodness. We had first place, the GCA. We had first place, Ritmix RSL Season 4. We had fourth place at the Numerical Cup and the Numerical M House Cup 2. Fourth place at Home Story Cup 7. Second place at MLG Spring. Fourth place at Ritmix RSL Season 5. First place at DreamHack Open 2013. Third through fourth place at Asus ROG, the most recent kind of premier tournament, I guess if you want to call it. This dude is insane. Like, are you kidding me? Aside being like a teammate of mine, like this is insane. Like, how can you be this consistent all over the place? Like, when you talk about players traveling to like endless tournaments, like Hyun is that player. He's at almost every single tournament that you can imagine, and you know, there is that breaking point where you travel enough, you don't practice enough, you're going to get behind in the meta, you're going to perform most likely poorly, odds are. But Hyun is just consistently getting top finishes. Think of like every single tournament. I'm trying to like emphasize, like, if you think about every single tournament out there and how many players come up to it, the top ranking players, the players that practice a lot, the Korean players, the European players, some of the North American players, like, this is actually like completely insane that he's able to do stuff like this. It's not like where it's the GSL or the OSL or the WCS, I guess, where you get a lot of time just to prepare for opponents. This is a lot of on-the-fly work. But again, Hyun is a complete baller nerd. Everybody knows that. Especially, he knows how to play on the fly. IPL Fight Club, 14 wins in a row. Recently, I guess if you want to call it. Actually hasn't played in the GSL, I don't think, this year, if I'm not mistaken. He actually withdrew at some point. I wonder who was it against. He actually had to withdraw from, I think it was the first season of the GSL, because he was traveling and participating in tournaments. But just in this tournament alone, he had to go through Tassadar, which he won 2-1, 2-0 0, 2-0 Jokchi, 2-0 2-1 Curious, and now we're here versus Boong Boong. Now for Boong Boong's path, we're looking at 2-0ing the STC, 2-0ing the Best, 2-0ing Younghwa, and then 2-1ing Hack. I was about to say Hug, but I'm just like, no, he's actually in the other qualifier right now. But you know what? Somebody like Huck, he actually might try to qualify through the Korean qualifier. That's just, you know, sometimes the ego might show from him. It's just like, you know what? I could if I could qualify through North America, I could qualify through Korean qualifier as well. Anyways, looks like both players I was like looking a little bit, going for the same build order, just went pool first into hatch, both opening fairly safe. Now Hyun is almost opening up identical as the last time I saw him play on Neo Planet S. He loves to do this early lair in which he gets, like, he almost makes no units whatsoever. He gets early lair, he gets a third hatch as well, and then he just basically sits defensive. He turns into a complete counterpuncher until he can get just these upgraded thick speed roaches. But then you look at Boom Boom, look at him. He's already started his +1. He does have a little bit of a later roach warren, so you know what, that's gonna hinder production a little bit. But when you're playing the same type of style, and you know what, Hyun has to actually travel across the map, that's going to account for the, you know, I guess the build time that's left on the roach warren for Boom Boom. He's going to come up with his upgrade lead, I guess, and there we go. We see the roach speed just getting started. That will probably be the only factor that's a little bit different. But as you can see, I mean, this is just about dead even from both players. Boom Boom, though, I feel like a little bit ahead, though. As you can see, the hatchery just a tiny bit ahead. The upgrade for +1 is just a little bit ahead. But both players showing very superior ZVZ-esque style play. And for those that remember Boom Boom, this was like the Code S cheeser right there, man. He was like that Zerg bit by bit prime, basically, come 2012. You see him in a group and you're like, well, you know what, I wonder how well he's going to be able to cheese against these players. And at times he was successful, many times he just fell back out, but then he requalified. He was able to successfully go through Code A and the up and downs. So you know what, you can't hack on a guy for that. But now overall this guy plays so well. He is just like, even the other day I was in absolute utter shock. Like, I knew he was overall like a really good player. Now he's been working on it for a long time, but he showed it to us and showed it so well. I think it was that final game versus Hack. It was on Red City where he was just perfectly microing against the Terran player. Just not only was he microing, but harassing him at the same time versus Bio Widowmine, and we know how tough that can get, especially for some players. It was insane to watch. It was incredible. So big ups to him. As a teammate and an absolute adoring lover of Hyun, I'm very impressed and have a lot of respect for Boom Boom. So now Hyun, looking at the map, was looking to move across for now with his roaches, but I think he's going to just stay back at the moment. Very interesting how the schematic of the game turned out. Like, look at the layout right now, where Hyun picking that vertical third hatch. Now what that does, it forces more of the focus of the map down here at the bottom right side, at least for him, as well as also allows him to be more aggressive too. So he's kind of taking more of the aggressor position. Now Boom Boom looking for more of that passive position whenever you take that third hatch right here. But you know what, at this point, because he took that third hatch right there, it also ends up being an aggressive hatch for him as well. So now this is all really going to come down to how well did the players macro, how well did the players, you know, are able to focus on their upgrades, trades, concaves that we talk about. And Hyun's moving across the map. This could be a huge mistake right now. He needs to realize the numbers for, yeah, there we go. He realized right away, like, the numbers for Boom Boom are insanely high. And as you can see too, right now there's 1-1 for Hyun, so he might be able to last through this fight a little bit longer. But I feel overall the supply numbers in favor for Boom Boom. And as we can see, yeah, indeed, 149 to 118. This is going to be a very tough battle for Hyun to battle out of. Oh my god. And then as well, +2 going to be finishing up really soon. Reinforcing roaches already underway, heading across the map. Now Hyun, he does have that defender's advantage. How well is he going to be able to fight against this roach pack from Boom Boom? And there we go. He's just continually breaking through. Hyun even kind of resorting to building several links to help him out. Maybe distract, at this point, just basically distract those roaches. And guys, I think Boom Boom has a 2-0 right here. No defender's advantage is not going to help Hyun out here. And, you know, the longer this goes, the worse this is going to get for Hyun. And as you can see, he's just kind of pounding his way right through there. He's just muscling right through. He's not even worried about it. So as we see, oops, wrong one. As we zoom in, the drone pull happens, and you know what happens? We talked about it last game. That drone pull happens. Desperation is involved. +2 is just about to finish up for Boom Boom, but you can see the reinforcing roaches getting the back end, flanking the roaches of Hyun, and at this point, I think this is GG for Hyun. I talked to him before the game. He said he felt good. He thinks he could win, but not going to be the case, man. Boom Boom looking strong right now. Boom Boom. GG written out from Hyun, and Boom Boom's going to be moving over into the finals 2-0. Sick game. Absolutely sick. So congratulations to Boong Boong. He's going to be awaiting the winner of Supernova and Hurricane, which is going to be our second semifinal coming up next. Kyun unfortunately does fall out. Congratulations to him. In this tournament, no fourth place payout or anything like that. It's just a qualifier. And for those that know and or don't know, first place, all expenses paid, flight and accommodations to Hong Kong, where the players will compete on August 31st in the Hong Kong Esports. Basically tournament, like the overall tournament, which is 5 different games for $200,000. Absolutely insane. Should be cool to watch. Definitely keep an eye out for that. But we're gonna have to get ready for our second semifinal today. Until that time, again, K-pop break. We'll catch you guys in a few more minutes. Don't go anywhere. Alright, sorry to interrupt the K-pop. We are going to be going into our second semifinal right now, so hopefully we are good overall. Let's get my face off the camera and get ready for our second games today. We're also going to have the finals today, guys. That's going to be a best of 5, so winner of this series will face off against Boom Boom. So starting over here at the top right side of the map, representing Zubu. Actually, oh my goodness, I just got baited just like Boom Boom. Teamless at the moment. Sorry, it is Supernova. That sounds so bad. I actually felt bad just saying that right now. But it is true. It is true. Everybody knows with Zubu, the scenario that happened. He is teamless at the moment. But, you know what? I doubt it's going to take that long for him to find a team. He is a very, very good player. So, his opponent located down here at the bottom left side of the map, representing FXO Gaming. In the red, we have the Protoss player, Hurricane. Now this guy, former player known as Tier, really good, but results sort of kind of lackluster, and kind of sort of you don't hear too much about him, so you're not always aware of exactly what's going on with in regards to his esports playing. So, looking at Hurricane as just a player in general before, looks like really nothing's going on too early. This, again, is a TVP. But looking at Hurricane, he, of course, also known as Tier, really a little bit of an unknown player when we look at him. Back in 2012, he played a lot of those ESMs and the EST TV Korean weeklies, and got a lot of good places. He got actually 3 first places, a second place in one of those, and then in the ESTV Korean Weekly, he got second place, so not too bad. In actually a recent season for FXO, actually this past season of GSTL, he all killed Ennis Hoso. Pretty cool. Trying to look at exactly what he's been up to as of late, exactly with the regards to. Oops, we'll try to follow that probe around as we see the command center getting placed by Hurricane. I mean, sorry, by a Supernova. Sorry, I'm kind of like losing my mind a little bit right now. But in GSL Season 1, I think he played against. Oh, he actually got a forfeit. That's who it was. Okay, I'm like, how that Hyun forfeit that I was talking about earlier, that was Hurricane, actually. Funny how it's all like this group is really related to each other. So, forfeit over Hyun, 2-1 over Super, then lost 0-2 to Shine in the Code A. He went to Up and Downs and actually went 5-2 in his group, in a group with First, who I'm pretty sure just finished in 3rd place for the placement matches over in Korea. Marine King Prime, Bang, and True. So that is not an easy group to finish 5-2 in, and I think that was also through some tiebreakers as well. Now, in the recent season, he, in the OSL, in the first round, because he got to Code S through that basically, or I guess the Premier League through the OSL, he lost 2-1 to CJ Entis' Hero. He got dropped down. Oh, no. He lost actually in his group in Premier League to Bomber and Keen. That was his Premier League. He lost 0-2 and 0-2. And then in Code A or Challenger League, he lost 2-1 to CJ Entis' Hero. So, at the moment right now, he's sitting in Up and Downs. Group F, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to be in a group. Yeah, he's going to be in Up and Downs Group F with Kongho, aka Losira, Jokji, Shine, Effort, and Hurricane. So there's a little bit about it for Hurricane, man. And of course, to get here, he beat Apocalypse 2-1, Liquid Hero 2-0, forfeit over Crank, and 2-1 over Seed in his last match. So this dude is all about business. He's really, really good. Now, looking at it just kind of as an in general, I mean, looking at the game itself. Oh no, won't let me off. There we go. I was like, I'm like, I hit Control F. It's not going to let me off the player. Look at this from Hurricane, man. Literally playing as much meta as he possibly could to the map that you could even imagine right now. 5.5 minute third. This is literally like watching, who was it? Was it First? It had to be First. It had to be First. Yeah, it was First versus Ryung on Belshire Beach, where this one gate expand with a 5.5 minute third. And he's going to try to defend with everything that he has at the moment on the map. And, of course, Mothership Core will allow that to happen. Might have to micro a little bit to get over to that third base if an engagement does happen. He might have to fly that over. But as you can see, a little bit of a kiting action coming out from Hurricane. Able to pick off a couple Marines along the path and damage a few of the other ones. But this is just a lot of trouble right now for Supernova. If he doesn't realize this or scout this out, Hurricane's going to have an enormous advantage. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Am I watching this? Is this real life on Neoplanet S? Sounds like a sounds like a show. Sounds like a sitcom. Real life on Neoplanet S this week. So a little bit additional micro action going on over here, and look at this. Eventually does save that second stalker very low in red HP. Supernova does get at least a little bit of a spot of a probe, but this could be a complete fake out from Hurricane at this point, and this is going to be great for him because you can see second bunker already going down. He saw the probe. Even though a proxy pylon might go down eventually, there's no actual realistic attack that could maybe happen right now. I don't know. He is going off. He did just build 6 gates though, so I could be wrong. He's actually a total of 8 gates. So one gate double expand into a total of 8 gates. What? I have no clue what I'm watching right now. This is like Bizarro World on Bizarro World. Like even First didn't do something this crazy. So 4 gates, additional gates finishing up right now. He's going to be able to warp him in, but I would almost suggest that there's no reason to actually do this. And look at this. This is funny because right now Supernova somehow miraculously got an SCV in here, seeing exactly what's going on, spots all 8 gates, and he's got to be freaking out right now. He's even building a 3rd bunker right now for defenses. Hurricane should like probably just double check this, scout this out, and see what's happening, and just play macro behind it. He's sitting on 3 nexuses. Just get to your Templar tech, get your charge lots. You have such a better economy than your opponent. There's no need to attack, and especially now, I think he's spotted all the bunkers. Indeed, there we go. Sees that 3R finish and the 4th one going up right now. It is not going to be worth it for him to attack. There's no need at all. But he's going for it. See, oh my God, Hurricane, what are you doing? Don't do this, especially not with a Gateway army just now. Maybe if you had Immortals, you could pull it off. But no, this is just a Gateway-centric army. Oh, this is so crazy. I wonder how well this is going to work. This is actually, I have no clue. 92 supply in favor of Hurricane at the moment. He's got quite a few sentries, so a lot of force fields are available for him. +1 is about halfway done in ground weapons. Meanwhile, Terran player Stim just finished now. That's big. That is huge. So Phoenix flying on in here. That's just a scout just to see what's going on. Not going to do any realistic damage. Hurricane at this point, almost a better option for him would be just to attempt to maybe even contain him if he could. Will not be able to spot this medevac heading down south. That's got a couple Widow Mines with him going right for that 3rd base. Now it's going to find out about the 3rd. I guarantee that Supernova is just going to be purely upset having to deal with this. But here we go. Going forward. But look at this. Oh, even saving that probe. Force fielding the front off where a lot of those SCVs are. Remember, if you're a Terran player, you typically want to put the SCVs in front. That way they could actually repair when the force fields hit the back. But actually force fielding off the front so you can pick off a few SCVs. But here we go. Widow Mine in place right now. One Zealot does go down as a sacrifice. Second Widow Mine getting placed right now. He needs to make sure to micro that Stalker out of the way. It's going to detonate on probes. Oh, that's a little bit of a loss right there. A total of 6 workers in all. I think actually maybe just 5 then. Double drop going down south right now as well. But you know what? Hurricane doing a pretty good job of containing Supernova right now. No 3rd base right now in place. Just actually getting started right now at the 11-minute, almost 12-minute mark. So this is a pretty bad scenario right now at the moment for Supernova. But if he can somehow maybe do a little bit more additional damage to this 3rd, maybe take this double drop and do some maybe magnificent damage, not only just picking off the probes, the cannons, the stalkers, maybe even somehow sniping off this 3rd, this could be great for him. This could be absolutely the answer, the kind of the all need, what he's needed for. So here we go. Blink Stalker's going on forward, hopping up there. Going to be able to kill off all the Marines at least trying to attack right now. Only 1 cannon going down, some minimal damage. Warping, recalling back the whole entire army, feedbacking the medevacs. Is Hurricane a Bondra? Oh my goodness, but no. To that question, even I say no, because dual prong attack, good job by Supernova. Actually coming over here to 3rd base, but another recall, Mothership Core, that 1 base unit, man, the 1 save all Protoss unit, as I always like to say. Recalling back after he went into the main, recalling over to the 3rd and being able to defend both locations. Now Supernova is in a lot of trouble, guys. This is not where you want to find yourself. You look at the upgrade count right now for Supernova, 1-0 with +1 still underway. We got +2 right now for Hurricane. We got charge upgrades as well. Storm almost halfway done as well. And just an overall superior economy in place for Hurricane. So right now, if Hurricane just can hold off, you know, for a couple more minutes, he might not get that with this SCV pull right now, but he's going to need a couple more minutes to get those storms finished up, and he's just going to be able to handle anything in the world. But here we go. Here comes this SCV pull right now. Hurricane needs to stall just a little bit longer. This is a very dangerous attack right now, even though he is down about 20 supply, or up about 20 or so supply. He needs those storms versus the SCVs in the bio. And he's stalling it. He's stalling so well right now. Oh my goodness. I didn't even imagine that he would do this. And this is going to be so bad for Supernova because he doesn't realize that Storm is just about to finish up. He's going to be fighting in a choke. There we go. Walking out of there just a little bit. But here we go. It is time for Storms. First time warp going down. Where are the High Templars right now? There we go. First Storm going down. Let's zoom back in. And I think this is going to be GG right now. Supply completely plummeting for Supernova, 75 to 135. Additional warpins coming in, and GG. Game 1 in the books. Hurricane with a dominant build. That was just beautiful. Oh my god. Wow. That was so well played, the Neoplanet S. Everybody knows that. In general, that's a map that's going to be a 2-base all-in from a Protoss, very 2-base centric, very tough for either the Terran player or the Protoss player to grab a 3rd base. Instead, he knows that he's going to focus again scouting on the main and natural, doesn't check the 3rd base. Hurricane able to get away with a 5-minute 30 placed 3rd base, which rarely in a TVP ever happens. So, you know, just kind of one of those things. You don't scout, you don't think it's going to happen, it happens, and then, you know, at the 14 or so minute mark, you just get your whole army stormed and completely overwhelmed. So that was game number 1. We're already in lobby for game number 2. These guys are really on the ball about getting these games underway. So we're going to be going to game number 2 here in just a moment, guys. Don't go anywhere. I'm even thinking about maybe should I even play K-pop? Should I? Yeah, well, we'll play a little bit of K-pop. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of Gangnam Style for everybody.
Open Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자. 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자. 밤이 오면 심장이.
These players aren't going to allow me to have some fun and play a little bit of K-pop for you guys. But here we go. We have game number 2 underway. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. If you're tuning just in right now, if you're getting up in North America, you know, if you're switching in between channels of WCS, maybe you're a Dota fan that's waiting for International 3 to start up. We are here at the Hong Kong Esports Qualifier, Korean Qualifier that is, in the final day, day number 2. Figuring out who's going to go to the finals right now to face Boong Boong. Again, Boong Boong beating Hyun 2-0 in a big, I don't want to say complete upset, but it was in very dominant fashion in favor of Boong Boong. So, starting down here at the bottom right side, in the blue, we have the Terran player Supernova. We can do the awesome zoom out. Oh, I love that. That's so awesome. Thanks, Blizzard. You guys actually listen to something. You guys actually listen. Aw. His opponent down at the bottom right side, leading 1-0 with a great meta build that we saw on Neoplanet S. In the red, we have Hurricane. Dun 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 dun. Protoss. Bang. Alright, so game number 2 underway. We're on Newkirk Redevelopment Precinct. TVP, once again, of course, no doubt. Interesting to see how Hurricane plays this time around, and I want to see how Supernova reacts. Is he going to freak out over that first game that he played against Hurricane? Could happen, and as we're seeing right now, I feel like this is almost a direct cause of it. He's going for the 12 racks, 12 gas. Now, for players that, you know, are kind of in the lower leagues, not familiar with this type of style, this is just to get a very early Reaper out. And you're only typically going to get 1 out, maybe 2 if you're Supernova. We've seen it a couple times just to be able to maybe do some additional harassment. But this basically the work and the job of the Reaper is to do the majority of the scouting. Yes, you can get in here and maybe pick off a probe too if you're even remotely lucky, but with the additional speed, you're usually able to get away from Stalkers and Mothership Cores, that usually the only early game units that could attempt to chase those down. And you just go back in, scout over and over and over again, and then go from there. But as we look and see, I am wrong. He's actually putting down a reactor right now, so he's going to be playing a little bit aggressive, it looks like, or at least maybe going for some marine pressure of some sort. SCV scout coming across the map. Interesting to see how Hurricane reacts now. He's just going for, looks to be a standard 1-gate expand, sort of like last game. Not sure if it's going to happen. Now, we talked about Hurricane last game a little bit. Let's look at his Supernova. You know, he's pretty good. 23 years old right now, living in Korea as far as I know. Former player of OGS. Everybody remembers them. Rest in peace. Them, Slayers, Xenix, and all the other teams that have disbanded for whatever reasons. He was on MTW for a little bit of a short stint with Demaga, and then he was part of that group that got picked up by Azubu, along with Boom Boom. But again, we keep referring to that financial issues from Azubu. So now we have a Proxy Pawn getting placed down and a Supernova's team list, unfortunately. But I feel like he is actually probably one of the most underappreciated players ever in the GSL. Like, looking into him and looking at his games and playstyle, he's by far one of the most underappreciated players. He is actually one of the 3 players that's almost gotten I think a Nest T award, if I'm not completely wrong. Yeah, he's actually by far in the GSL alone one of the most consistent players. He had 9 times in a row appearances in the GSL Code S in a row, that is. He requalified for them always, no matter what. He was 1 away from the Nesty Award, and I think he got knocked out. I can't remember by who, but he had to restart the count, and that's just restarting the count. He's been even in the GSL more than that, so more than 9 times. This dude is pretty incredible. Of course, there's been small Code A stints, Code S stints. He's currently in the Code S system, especially with the OSL, quote-unquote, finishing up. So Gom in the GSL is going to take over now. Now look at these Reapers actually getting in here, doing a little bit of damage, even forcing the Mothership Core to pop the Photon Nexus. So very effective Reapers right there, forcing that energy out, getting a probe out, and still with 1 Reaper getting away, scouting availability is still around for him. And this is going to be and this is nice because, again, with the scouting capability, he's not going to get caught off guard by a third base of any sort at all either. Kind of looking at some additional other statistics right now. He was supposed to play in DreamHack Open, the one that Hyun won, but wasn't able to. He had to cancel. I think that was just because of some Zubu issues. Back in Brood War, he was a B-teamer for KT, so KT Rolster. You guys might know him as Sire. That was even before my time, so I actually had to like really look that one up right there. Some of its best results: 2nd place, Sao Paulo IEM; 1st place in the Campus Park. It was a German tournament, and I think it was late 2012, or was it early 2013? I can't remember. And then, of course, in Code A, for those old school nerds, for those really old school nerds, for those that remember, there actually used to be a Code A championship where the players actually played it completely through instead of just, top 8 just going to Code S or something like that. So he actually finished 2nd place in Code A March of 2011, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, this dude's all over the place. Recently, in the OSL, he had a group where he took 1st against Parting, Squirtle, Younghua, so all TVPs. Only had to prepare for 1 matchup, but TVP pretty tough, I would say. 2nd place in the round of 16 group with Maru, Trap, Losira, and then he lost in a quote-unquote playoff in the round of 8 to 1st, 2-3. We're watching an attack happen right now. I didn't actually think this would be this successful, but look at this. Coming on in here, Mothership Core is having to really deal with this a lot. Throwing down a time warp just to hold off the range. Sorry about that. Kind of got a little bit too focused with the statistics, but here we go. Widowmine refreshing right now, and that's going to get another hit off. 4 probes go down with 1 shot right there, and a total of 7 kills on it right now. Observer finally getting over there to deal with that, but look at Supernova doing some really nice harass versus the Protoss player. Typically an area of the game that a lot of Terrans find a lot of trouble with, but Supernova is showing how successful I guess it could be, dropping with Marines and Reapers. Pretty entertaining to see, and just picking off as many as he can and just getting on out of there. Meanwhile, on the backside, macroing on up, getting his starport on the reactor, going to be able to go into medevacs, a little bit of a heavier medevac production as well. This would be probably the proper time to grab a third base as well, but you know what, Supernova is Supernova. Getting a stim right now, almost halfway done, combat shields and +1 attack upgrade underway as well. Now, sort of going back again, talking about Supernova, currently, again, talking about his round of 32 group, round of 16 group, his round of 8 match versus first, he lost 2-3, but that wasn't the end of his ride. Because of OSL and the placement matches for WCS to figure out who's going to travel to the season finals as we watch another drop get in here, he beat Sulky in a very entertaining series 2-1 and then lost to first once again 2-3. So overall, just alone, this season is a top finisher is incredible to see. And being teamless, that's even better. So here we go, additional harass coming on in here, and notice how Supernova, he is not focusing the stalkers, not trying to battle it out with them. He's just focusing the worker count right now, and 11 minutes in a rare case, in a very, very rare case, we see 19 total workers killed. That is not often in a TVP, so players looking to find some answers for harassment. Look at Supernova, I guess. Might not want to watch my complete obsing because we did miss some of it in the beginning, but the general gist of it, you know, you definitely know about it. I could probably look back into the replay and just see what happened there. So now, triple medevac drop right now, stopping outside of the natural, going to recover all of his units, and he could honestly probably push in here, maybe even attempt to snipe down the Colossus, and that usually can't happen. What is he going to do right now? Sees that the Mothership Core popped it. Gonna get the Zealot down, actually trying to get the sentries down as well, whatever he could really get at that point. So just gonna unload them back out again outside of the natural, gain I guess more units as well. He's got another drop, a couple of drops available to him as well. So meanwhile on the main, there we go, one drop happening right now. Gonna pick up, get out of there, a few additional workers killed off, and Hurricane, man, not having a fun time right now, man. Hurricane was having a blast last game. Well, you know what? Times do pass, and I think Supernova got a little bit awakened. Maybe got even a little bit upset at Hurricane for how he played last game. So definitely seeing a new, an improved version of Supernova's TVP. So here we go. He's actually dropping in the main right now. That one medevac from earlier, and there we go. The additional 3 joining with the pack, and here we go. Not even unloading all the units. Going to actually try to pull back. One of the medevacs gets sniped as well as a few of those units. So Hurricane saying, not so fast, not so fast. You think you're going to be able to harass me all game long? Well, that's not going to be the case. I have 2 Colossus out right now. I've got the Mothership Core in place to pop another Photon Nexus if needed. My upgrades are underway, and you're not going to have as much fun as you think you will. But again, we look and see the observer spotting that the third base for Supernova getting placed down right now. So I want to see how Hurricane reacts. Does he, because of the kind of the economic deficit that he's in, does he want to transition into some sort of 2-base all-in, where he's, as we see, adding that Immortal, getting the charge upgrade, the +1 is just about to finish up as well. Does he just want to really force a fight right now? You know, because if you want to go into the macro stage of the game, grab a third base, and go through the whole getting the Templars out, the Storms, and everything else, by that point in time, Supernova's going to be maxed out. He's going to have Vikings out. Even if he's like over readily prepared, he could have Ghosts out as well if you wanted to at this point. All you would have to do is just put that Ghost Academy down right now. And where is it at? I think there it is, Ghost Academy getting thrown down by Supernova. So this is really nice play out of him right now. Very solid, very crisp Terran versus Protoss play right now. So Hurricane, what is he going to have to do right now? Well, kind of hope for a couple miracles and then some. A Storm upgrade just getting started right now, but he's going to need more economy to just even remotely warp them actually into the game. So there we go. First Templar is now getting popped up, but only if it's only 1 Templar or 2 Templars. A couple Storms are not going to change this battle. Yeah, they might be able to tickle the army down to some HP, but this is a good medevac count, very healthy. The Vikings are going to be able to most likely overwhelm the 2 Colossus count. The ground army, not that intimidating as well. Charge upgrade is about to finish up, but again, these are just 1/1 zealots, so, and 2 armors only halfway done. So this is not an intimidating army at all. So here we go. Supernova walking up here. Good force fields preventing that army from coming up. Gonna be able to pick off a stock here, but that's about it. Now, Supernova is definitely in the driver's seat. I'm loving this scans, picking off some of the observers. but once again, he does have to be very careful. He doesn't want to get over confident, doesn't want to overextend himself either, walking up into some of these chokes and dealing with these high Templars before the actual ghosts are out. So as we look and see, I feel like it looks like the first 4 ghosts are underway. They're going to join up with the army, the main army, and from there, I feel like he just wants to wait until, you know, Hurricane really feels confident to take a 3rd base and force that engagement in the open ground. So there we go, Hurricane placing that 3rd base, and that's exactly what Supernova wants. He's just been wishing for this to happen. So 4 ghosts are out on the map. They do need to catch up and get across the map with the army to be able to actually EMP some of this stuff off. But you could just see this Hurricane is just having a lot of trouble right now. It's just like, it's almost like every time you put up a 3rd, you're just gonna get it focused down just a tiny bit, enough for you to cancel it. You don't want to lose all 400 minerals. So here we go, engagement happening right now in a little bit of a tighter location that he might want to have it. Defensive Storm completely whiffing the Terran army. Still has a few available for him. Looks like 5 in total at the moment, maybe 6. But here we go. We'll see how good are the EMPs. Well, it doesn't even get the EMP off right there, getting some of those units stormed up. So here we go. Supernova trying to micro as best as he can, sniping a ghost off. This is really nice. Now 2 additional storms are available, but those ghosts are hunting down those Templars as best as they can. Good EMP hitting the sentries right there, and here we go. The Terran army is gunning down all that they can. 1 storm available for Hurricane at the moment, but he's already lost so much right now. And beautiful concave for Supernova. This is not going to be enough for Hurricane to be able to deal with this. And Vikings landing, it is over. GG. Supernova tying this series up 1-1. That was just superb. Superb. Not subpar. That was superb play out of Supernova. I think he realized that, you know what, Hurricane is the real deal. I better not mess around with him, kind of like I did in game number 1. Made sure that harassment and scouting was a little bit of a bigger factor this time around. And you just saw, with losing 19 probes by the 11-minute mark, the economic deficit really just completely demolished the Protoss players. So we're going to be going right now into game number 3, as we see already in lobby for it. So just hang tight. We're going to be going to game number 3 in just a sec. And as we wait for everybody to join up, I'm going to play a little bit of K-pop. Hang tight. Don't go anywhere. More StarCraft action coming up soon, and you guys get to see my face. Actually, I'll show, instead of my face, I'll actually show you the Supernova statistics as we pop a little bit of K-pop up. Okay. So as you guys see, I mean, just right there's Supernova overall, kind of in a nutshell. And in the individual league, 45 and 31 sets, and all 84 and 64. Versus Zerg, we get a little bit of extra information: 10 and 5, 21 and 13, and just a WCS point 700. So pretty sick. Overall, a really good player. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. Looks like we're not going to be able to go into once again another K-pop break whatsoever. Yes. Okay. So here we go, guys. Game number 3 underway. Starting over here at the top right side of Whirlwind in the blue, taking game number 2, forcing this 3rd game. It is Supernova. Check that out. Love those zoom outs. Those are awesome. So Supernova now, kind of in the hot seat, as well as his opponent. Having a really, I don't know, this is, in a qualifier scenario, this will be a lot of pressure on a player such as myself, because you are 1 game away from attempting to qualify and getting an all expenses paid flight, accommodations, and everything to a StarCraft tournament. So as a competitive player who's trying to win prize money, you know, kind of just livelihood just in general, to be able to afford everything, you're going to be looking to really get this tournament right now in the bag, especially this qualifier. So let's see if Supernova can do it. But, you know, it's going to be a tough task against his opponent. Down here at the bottom right side of the map, in the red, we have Hurricane for FXO Gaming. I don't think Hurricane's been on any other teams aside of FXO. I tried to actually look it up as best as I could, and I didn't see any really Brood War history behind him unless I missed it. StarCraft 2 history has been pretty kind of centrical. I don't know. It's like very centrical towards the Korean scene. So nothing really. He's never really traveled to European tournaments or anything like that that I'm aware of. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Now, with this map alone, Whirlwind, I would say a tiny bit in favor of the Terran just because of the versatility with the drops, the openness of the map. Engagements do come a little bit easier if you don't fight in your natural and main areas of the map. This is that typical map where we see Terrans really abuse the drops that they have, as well as also just make it almost nearly impossible for a Protoss to comfortably take a third base as well. But, you know, we did see sort of the different variety of styles of play. Supernova has to be aware of, again, that very, very early third base, because when he played against First the other day, I think... No, it wasn't him. It was actually Duck Duck versus Lucifron. Never mind. That was WCSEU. I was just thinking, I'm like, was that them? No. It was WCSEU, Lucifron versus Duck Duck, where Duck Duck grabbed a very, very early third base and was able to magically, just miraculously defend it versus Lucifron's main push. So looking at it right now, nothing really too much going on. Supernova going up here towards the northwest, I guess if you want to call it northwest, double checking, seeing that there's going to be no base. He's actually heading all the way across the map, so because this is the standard version, this is not lock cross positioning, so you do have to go everywhere to find out where your opponent is. A little bit more fortunate right now for Hurricane, because he's actually going to have the opportunity to scout in dual directions. Of course, Probe heading over here down to the southwest. Meanwhile, while the Mothership Core heads up here towards the northeast, and that's going to spot out at least the Marines. Now, Widowmine already out for Supernova, so this is some really interesting aggression coming out of him. Looking at his build order overall, went for that very early gas, getting the Marines out, getting a Widowmine out, following up with a Hellion as well, and a Medevac. So looking for that Marine Hellion Widowmine harass. It's actually really interesting to watch and very fun to watch, but how successful is he going to be on this map? Now, the advantages of it might be this dark area right here, because, you know, Hurricane might not be able to spot it in time. All those units get undropped, or I guess dropped into the main base of his, and he's not going to be completely prepared for him. But because he does have that Mothership Core, already enough energy for one Photon Nexus, he's going to be sitting around trying to get prepared. Does he have a Robotics Bay? No, he does not. So the Widowmine could become really effective and might even force a Forge out, or a very soon Robotics Bay after that. So going to have to be very focused on trying to get the Widowmine down as soon as the drop does come. Two Hellions on the backside coming into the natural right here, but again, no probes are down here that he has to worry about currently. So that's kind of a good positioning play out of him. But units are already getting dropped into the main. Photon Nexus does get popped. Some of the units are a little bit out of the range, especially that Widowmine, but he has to be careful, make sure to micro everything that as best as he possibly can, unloading them back right now into the natural. Widowmine trying to reburrow, but, you know, with that Oracle out, using that detection, spots that Widowmine, knocks it out of the game, and now it's basically Marines and Hellions fighting this Nexus. Is he going to be able to take it down? I don't think he's going to be able to. This is a really tough call right now. So, meanwhile, the Oracle is still kind of having that detection online, heading over into the main, going to attempt to do some sort of harass of his own. Medevac lifting the units off. The Mothership Core and a good unit pack does walk down here. Some HP loss, but, you know, with the shields recovery, Hurricane should be able to hold this off for the most part. Barracks getting placed down by Supernova right now. The game will continue on, getting that eBay up as well. The Viking, perfect counter to this Oracle right now. Almost no harass from it, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look. Only one kill, so that's actually... you are not paying off for that Oracle, unfortunately. That's with the Stargate and the Oracle, you need to do a lot more damage than that. Hellions coming on in here, getting a Time Warp thrown down just on Hellions. Even the Phoenix getting involved, lifting off the Hellion. One worker does go down. Second Hellion gets lifted, so... Hurricane making sure that, you know what, last game doesn't happen. You know, when you look at it initially, you're like, what, one probe, two probe, that's no big deal, but it could get out of control, as we watched last game, where 19 total probes were killed off by Supernova, and that's what gave basically Supernova the enormous advantage that he did have. Trying to fly in here with some of the Phoenix's butt turret and Viking in position ready to defend him off. Oracle flying back over here into the main, going to attempt to do some additional damage. No turret right now in place, and here we go. The Oracle flying on in here. How much damage is it going to get done? Good positioning also as well. Phoenix is knocking down that Viking, so Oracle is going to be able to run free for a little while. As we see, even focusing down that turret right now. A little bit of a waste of energy. Probably should attempt to use it on workers if you possibly can. So now focusing down on the Marines, but this is way too many Marines as well as a medevac involved. You do not want to fight this. Now the Phoenixes could probably snipe that medevac down really quick, but he just wants to be cautious. Not in the business of losing units at the moment. Take a quick sip. Oh, that's a lot better. Sorry, I didn't take a drink for quite a while. I'm actually feeling pretty refreshed for, I think it's about 7 in the morning my time right now at the moment. I haven't checked the clock, but we did start this tournament, I guess this day number 2 at 5 in the morning my time local. Been out for, what, I think over 12 hours. This is probably the one benefit of having this like reverse schedule that I'm on right now at the moment, like waking up at like 5 in the afternoon and then almost at this point 5 at night to say, and then going to bed at like 9, 10 in the morning, something of that nature. Worked out really well for the Hong Kong qualifier, but you know what, WCS Europe, you know, probably going to miss you. WCS North America, first few matches, not going to miss you as well. International 3 as well. I felt bad. I missed some of the early matches today. And yes, I do watch some Dota, I know. You're supposed to be only focusing on one game and one game only and play only one game, but no. Dota's pretty cool. Fortunate little pick-off. Oh, look at this. That's just 6 city top plays right there. That's an ESPN. If we had an ESPN right now, ESPN Esports, that would be top play. Maybe number 8 where that Wood of Mine gets dropped really quick. Quick reactions out of for Hurricane to lift it before Burrows pick that off because that's only energy. Oracle does go down. That's not energy. That's an Oracle going down. But knocking just little stuff out of the game just like that, that's going to be so big for Hurricane to make, you know, because he doesn't have to focus on his side of the map as much. He could just continue to macro up, know that his opponent's sitting trying to macro up on his side of the map as well. So this is really, really nice play out of Hurricane. I'm really enjoying this right now. Typically, I'll be honest, as a Terran player, Protoss does become very frustrating, but how Hurricane is playing this out just overall is very, very, very entertaining to watch. Now, a few Phoenixes are going to be involved with the army. Does have to be a little bit cautious here. Might even want to bait one Phoenix just to detonate this Wood of Mine out. Going to be going for mainly from what it looks like a Charge Lot Archon army. We have a total of 3 bunkers here, and even some of the units are looking to snipe anything off in the front. Supernova is down on supply, but because of these bunkers and already some of the SCVs, I guess, that were prepared, this might have he might have a very successful hold. But Hurricane playing very patient. Look at this. Hurricane waiting for some additional warpins. He also has Templars. Don't forget about that. Some of them are very, very high in energy, so they're going to be able to pull off 2 storms, not just 1. On the map right now, no ghosts at all. They're absolutely absent. They are not part of the roll call today for Supernova's army. In this game, at least particularly. The thing I'm worried about just looking at this, the SCVs are down here. He's losing a lot of mining time, which is not that big of a deal, especially having to prep for this attack. But with the Phoenix Vision, I guess if you want to call it, if you could just force some of the detonates. Oh my god, that was just too sick out of Supernova. Losing a medevac, but hell, picking off 2 High Templars, that's more than worth it. That was really sick plays right there. So Hurricane down a little bit on Templar count, but again, kind of to that earlier discussion, if somehow Hurricane could get some more storms out, those SCVs are going to be nullified completely. Some of that bio that's not in bunkers is going to be nullified. There's some Widow Mines prepared outside as well, so that's going to be some additional damage. It's tough to tell who's going to win right here. It's very, very tough. Now, Supernova going to be heading with the drop down south. I don't think, it doesn't look like Hurricane's going to spot it, and he doesn't have an observer ready there either. So, this is going to maybe force Hurricane to warp in some units back at home defensively. Could definitely happen. That's going to take away from some of the army right now in the main. But I think Hurricane is almost playing it out like game number 1. He's just containing his opponent. He knows that right now for Supernova to walk down his ramp would be a very, very poor decision, especially without Ghost. He's just going to get everything stormed. He's going to lose all of his army just like that. He's waiting right now. In Hurricane during this during this time, he's got already a third base up. This thing has been mining for quite a while already now. There's 2 additional gates that he could even morph right now. Working through the double robotics bait, getting Colossus out on the map as well. He's got so many Templars at home. This is just almost insane. And because a lot of those Templars are at home, that's why I'm thinking he's just waiting to contain him. Here in about a couple seconds, as soon as he even notices that, you know, Supernova actually does have ghosts on the map, he'll just back on out of there. If he stays for too long, he's going to lose his whole entire army to this. Now, oh, Hurricane doesn't spot it, but there were some free medevacs for the picking, especially the ones with loaded units. Phoenix is there, baiting the one that doesn't have any units in there. Baiting the one that doesn't have any units in there at all. So now he's going to have to bring those Colossus charge lots and Templars back over here into the main to be able to defend this. Will most likely, oh my god, almost a near Artosis pile, unpowering a majority of those gates. Picking off the Templar archives, that's pretty big, but you can just see all of these units now trapped inside the main. Not only good storms, but feedbacks as well. Hurricane showing very, very good mechanics. I mean, this is some really, really good stuff. And now as we see that whole army that was on the other side of the map coming back home, even though he did lose 2 Colossus, that's not too big of a deal. I think Hurricane's pretty satisfied where he's at in the game. Overall, in the macro stages, he's got a lot of army. He's got a lot of charge lots. All he needs right now is just to make sure he adds on a little bit of variety, gets those Colossus out so, you know, that additional AoE damage is there for him to utilize. And of course, I will take away from the ground army and Vikings instead. This is just really awesome play. I can't emphasize it enough. This is so cool. Still no third base for Supernova in place, guys. This is the 18.5 minute mark. Now, finally, this base is going to get landed here, but 18.5 minutes. Mark that in your notepad. 18.5 minutes. This is not a typical Terran build that you would want to be in. You would usually see maybe at the 12-13 minute mark, you would see that SCV pull that we saw last game. And is he going for it actually? I hope he's not. Oh my goodness, Supernova is actually just going for broke right now. This is really bad, but if Hurricane doesn't pay attention and gets all of his army EMP'd, it might turn slightly in favor for Supernova. But again, this is just not where you want to be at. +2 upgrades just starting right now. +2, of course, only just finishing for Hurricane. Though Hurricane is maxed out. He's got a lot of Templars out on the map. Good feedback, good storm! Oh my god. How does something like that even realistically happen? We're even going to take down some of the UI. Here we go. Some of the engagement. Is he trying to flank anywhere? No, it doesn't look like it. First EMPs do get dropped. Does he have anything left? Good storm right there, catching a majority of that army. And at this point, there's nothing left. Yeah, there's nothing he could do. GG. So congratulations to Hurricane. He moves on 2-1. Going to be facing off against Boong Boong right now in a best-of-5 ZVP for that all-expenses-paid flight. Accommodations to Hong Kong on August 31st. I am Cheesehead Logic, guys. We're going to be right back in a couple of minutes as we set up the grand finals. Don't go anywhere as well. Follow me on Twitter at QuanticCHL if you guys are enjoying some of the streaming and the casting. Kind of doing actually one of my, I don't want to say rare NA events, but I'm definitely like 70% Russian casting and then like 30% or less like English American events. It's like weird. It's like weird. I have to like differentiate between the bilingual stuff. Anyways, we're gonna be right back. Don't go anywhere. K-pop break. If you guys got any additional questions for me, you guys are gonna of course hear this about 2 minutes later than I ask it because of the delay. But feel free to ask. I'll try to interact with you guys in chat. If you guys are wondering about brackets, feel free to ask as well. Anything that you guys want to know, let me know. But until then, don't go anywhere.